And right now, RNC Communications Director, Sean Spicer. Sean, thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Maria.
Can you talk to us about the security preparations for the GOP convention that are underway in the wake of the terror attack in France? Have things changed in any way?
Well, look, I think Blake's right. I mean, you've had the United States Secret Service planning this event for months. One of the things that we benefit from is that because this is an event that's been on the books for a long time, it's designated as a national security event by the U.S. Secret Service. There are 73 different agencies involved, as Blake pointed out, meaning that they have been able to plan and tabletop this for months, if not years. This ensures that we will be probably the safest place on earth when it comes to that Quicken Loans arena.
Yeah, I mean, people are worried about soft targets. This is probably not such a soft target, given the fact that there's so much security ahead of the convention.
That's right. I mean, we've got Secret Service who does this day in, day out with the cooperation of other federal agencies. And what that means is that we can concentrate on putting on the best program. You saw yesterday the amazing speakers that got announced, and I think we can concentrate on making sure that we put on a political convention that highlights Donald Trump and the Republican Party, that puts, people, everyday people, business people, military leaders on the stage and allows the American people to hear more about our party and our nominee for president as we try to stop Hillary Clinton.
So I'm going to ask you about the differences between the two, but is it fair to say the party or much of the party is now on board behind Donald Trump, or do you still have the divisions?
Oh, I think we're doing very well. Last night was the Rules Committee, and despite all the media hype, it was supposed to take 2 days. They finished all their business by last night. It's over, and everything sailed through swimmingly. So, again, I've said this for a while now, and yesterday it continued to prove it, that it's much more. It's a series of tweets and conference calls, and that's it. Our party continues to unify. You saw the amazing speakers that got listed. More people are coming and want to be part of this convention and talk about Donald Trump and our quest to elect him and keep Hillary Clinton out.
Yeah, what I want to know from you in a minute is what would be success? What would be a successful RNC convention? But let me get your take first on the differences between Trump and Clinton, because they both reacted to the terrorist attack last night in Nice. They highlighting the differences in their approaches. Listen to this. I want to get your reaction.
It sounds like here we go again. It's going to be a whole different world. We're living in a whole different world. There's no respect for law and order. There's no respect for anything or anybody. And this has to be dealt with very harshly.
One of my priorities is to launch an intelligence surge. We still do not have enough intelligence cooperation between our agencies and those in other countries, including in Europe. And we need to have a focal point.
What are your thoughts, Sean, on the differences in these two approaches toward fighting terrorism?
Well, first, I do have to say that this is just another horrendous act, and the loss of life is just devastating. To watch this happen overseas is just. It's become way too acceptable or way too common now, between the stuff that we've seen in Dallas and Orlando, the stuff we've seen in France a couple times.
Right.
This is just, it's getting ridiculous. I think the two distinctions are this. Donald Trump says it's unacceptable. He says we've got to fight strong. We've got to make sure that we defeat ISIS. Hillary Clinton, was part of the...
Obviously, we had an interruption in that video there. It is live, satellite, from Cleveland and from the convention. We're talking with Sean Spicer, the Director of Communications for the Republican National Committee, and he is back with us. Go ahead. Sorry, Sean, you got interrupted there.
Nope. Thanks, Maria. I think the point that I was trying to make was that, look, Hillary Clinton's the architect of this policy. For her to get up there and talk about the fact that we don't have cooperation with our allies in Europe, well, that was her job as Secretary of State. So it proves that her policies have failed. So, look, we can elect more of the same and get more of the same,
right,
or we can go in a different direction. I think that's what we need to do. That's what Donald Trump's talking about, that what we're seeing is not acceptable, that we need a better and stronger effort to fight and defeat ISIS.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, because when she said that, I thought to myself, well, why? Why don't we have the intelligence that we need? Let me ask you real quick, Sean, as we wrap up here, what would be a successful convention? What are you looking for?
Well, I think the more that I think people have seen Donald Trump, they know who he is, but I think hear from his family and his business partners, people who have worked with him for 20 years, and get to know him as an individual, not just the businessman and the person they see on TV, and they hear about the values of the Republican Party and how we want to be inclusive. I think if we can walk out with people saying, I want to join that party, I want to support that candidate, that's success.
I say. So if Donald Trump resonates with the people and resonates with the party, and people walk away feeling better about him, you have had a successful convention. Sean, good to see you, and I will see you in Cleveland. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you. Sean Spicer joining us there.